Yes, sir.
Happy Sunday, everybody.
Happy
We made it
TA
back.
day.
Sunday.
We made it
Happy
back.
Saturday for all you American fools.
Oh, wait. Yeah.
Shatcoin chill day.
I feel like I became a time traveler as soon as I like got into this group. I don't know. It's mind bending talking to Australia and like just all of the world at the same time. I think we have all of the major like areas of the world on this call right at this.
All
Is
the
that
areas of the
correct?
world that matter.
Exactly. That's what I was trying
Oh,
to say. That's what I was trying to say.
yeah, it's pretty cool, huh?
I think so. I think so. So, guys, I don't know what is happening. Bitcoin, it did Wall Street Bets get a hold of Bitcoin because it really is like up only diamond hands. It feels like.
Well, I'm sure
That's
Harry
great.
will go into some good detail here, but there was a trend that we sort of noticed and we discussed in the Telegram that the last 3 Sundays we've seen what Harry calls the weekend shenanigans, but specifically the Sunday seems to have been a dump 3 times in a row now. You can correct me if I'm wrong, Harry, but
No, indeed.
um, it's usually it's it could go either way. It does some you see some volatility, but this time it's specifically been 3 dumps, and it's not even when I say dump, this is a fractional move for Bitcoin these days.
Hmm.
Flash
But
crash.
it's definitely the alts that definitely dump the most, and people just sell their alts and put into Bitcoin, whatever they do. Yeah.
Yeah, indeed.
I don't know. I sort of have this crazy theory. I don't know if I should even talk about it here on the stream, but like, you know how the CME is like that big deal, and they always talk about the CME gap and how it doesn't seem to like be that important anymore. Um, but what if like the CME guys were like to the other guys, like, okay, you can keep doing with the volatility on the weekend, but you got to keep it like within this range. Like, you can go up and down a little bit in that range, but you can't like get too far away from us while we're not trading on the weekend. Like, you can keep playing just within reason, guys. You know, just don't leave us behind.
Well, there
I
is
don't know.
one concept to that. And the
Yeah.
concept is that, now that we have CMEs and big institutional players in this game, institutions can actually short Bitcoin. So they can make a bit of money, hedge their bets, to while it's volatile, because Bitcoin is always still a volatile asset, even though it keeps going up, it's still volatile. So the whales who want to buy in big amounts of Bitcoin, 10 Bitcoin plus, they don't want to get, basically shorted by these institutions. So they end up buying in the weekend. That's why we see these weekend
Mm.
pumps. And then I don't know who ends up shorting it, but they have this flash crash to probably, my suspicion is it's to allow these big players to get in for the week. And what I really do think is it's the trading exchanges like Bybit and all of this. They quickly flash crash the price, and then they get in some orders and stuff like that, so that they have liquidity in their order books. That's my suspicion.
I mean, it makes sense to me. I mean, again, this is not financial advice, and what we're doing here is wild speculation. No accusations. Just
Yeah,
want to put
indeed.
that out there.
Post all
Well, let's
accusations in the chat, please. We don't want to be framed on air. Any accusations, please post in the chat.
And guys, start shilling your coins, huh? Let's have a look. We already have
Well,
like three.
we have DAR 12345 NG. Is huge Bitcoin dump coming?
Uh,
Always a
Setting
good
straight, mate.
question.
yeah, I think we're due for a correction. I don't think it's gonna end the bull run, no, but it's healthy, something like this, I don't see why not. Uh, there's a lot of metrics, even when I went over before. Where is my chart? BLX, there you are. In this BLX, if we look at the weekly, bring back my drawings, you can see that we're hitting to that mid zone. And yeah, normally when we do hit this mid zone, we do see some sort of correction, and yeah, I would expect it. We'll see probably between 60 to 55,000. I don't think now, looking at the market sentiment, I don't think we reverse at these levels, but it's always a possibility. I don't see, I need to go back on log, and you can see in the past, this is just like a simple analogy. You can see in the past what happens is that every time we reach this middle of this measurement tool, we have some sort of correction. You can see here we wicked up above it, correction. Uh, yeah, that's how many I back tested, 3. So, I mean, I don't see why we can't have a wick bring us to that $60,000 level and then have a correction, because there's a lot of metrics actually suggesting that 60,000 can be a level to have a short-term sell-off. But yeah, I'm not worried. In the long term, things are looking very good, and you can see where my price prediction is. 166K. Could be more, could be less, but that's just based off a very simple calculation and metric. But with that being said, guys, let's get into and actually what Bitcoin is doing. So, we did close the 3-day above the topside Bollinger Band, which is always a good sign, and it's telling me that coming into next week, that I should be looking for all-time high based on past price action, right? We do have the 2-day coming in today, and if that does close above the topside Bollinger Band, that even looks very good, but it's not necessarily something that's too important to have. Why? Because we can see we closed below here, and look what happened in the other closures. They closed pretty aggressively. But looking at the lower time frames, and I'm on the Bybit uh, chart here, and look, you can see that this flash crash had even an error in the charts, which is quite interesting. I think it's visible on the 1 hour. Let's take away these Bollinger Bands. And you can see here there's a gap, right? It was like a huge, very heavy short
Great.
position. Yeah, and you can see like no top wick, nothing. Just, I mean, it's not the same on Coinbase. It looks pretty clean, but you can see how much volume came into that candle. And I bet if I bring up the volume signature, it was pretty big. And yeah, you can see it was a pretty high volume candle. And in just an hour, that volume came in. So pretty interesting to see that. You can see leading to that dump, not much volume, and then on that actual dump there was a flash crash, and then it got picked up very, very quickly. And you can see the way it's got picked up is it's not all being bought at once, because if something has very high volume coming into it, like a lot of buying pressure, you'll see high volume. But you can see that this was strategically bought. You can see that here the volume actually started contracting as the price went up. So there's definitely some sort of shenanigans going on. And yeah, basically that was my target. If you guys watched yesterday's video, you could have gotten along and you would be in 4% profit now with 10x leverage. That's 40% on however much you're trading with. So that's a decent amount, 40% in a day. Uh,
Yeah, that's
yeah, it's pretty good, man.
that's really good. And yeah, and this is one of the. I just want to give some opportunity, some perspective on opportunities that some of the adapt members can take advantage of. You might not like using leverage, or um, trading Bitcoin. Maybe you're very focused on altcoins because you can see there has more upside potential potentially. But this is just a reminder. If you have to have a little bit of liquidity in your portfolio, and you can set these orders that are just really low on your favorite chat coin or even on Bitcoin, and it doesn't hurt to have them in potentially to pick up something that's a bit of a steal here, because that was very quickly bought up, like Harry said.
Yeah, and I was actually, to be honest with you guys, my target was 44.5, and $500 off. It's not really, I mean, not 44, 54.5, but you can never catch these dumps exactly, 54. I believe this was actually an algo target, so a Fibonacci target. But for
Hmm.
me, using price action, if we went on the 30-minute, I was expecting a bounce basically on this right here, so 55. And even if you use 10x leverage, you would have been in the water for like about 3 seconds. So your heart would have been beating for 3 seconds. And after 3 seconds, you would have seen full green. And just for some context, if you guys are trading with $2,000, and when it reaches peak here so even if you took from that point, right? So let's say here, look, 54,625. So I'm even front running where my buy-in would have been. And you took it to the peak, that's 4.23%. So, that's 42% on, in a couple of hours on $2,000 is almost like it's about $800 to $900 profit in one trade, right? So, I mean, that's huge growth on a small trading account. Now you trade with an account with a big, huge profit, like 25K. now you're making a lot of money, right? But of course, this is non-financial is highly risky because the easiest way you can make a money, you can lose the money in the same way. And I highly advise you guys not to use 10x leverage. 10x leverage is the only reason why I'm not in this position, because I was sleeping, right? I can't manage the position while sleeping, because
Mm.
if I were to see this come down and I knew it would bounce, but if you saw this bounce start to get sold into, you need to manage risk. And yeah, so looking at price, here on the 1 hour, just say what I'm expecting. Essentially now we're making quite a nice range. I'm seeing, yeah, it's pretty nice range, to be honest. We do have a clear, easy sell position would be, here, but I don't short Bitcoin in a bull market.
Just wait up, Harry. There's a few people saying that they cannot see the chart at the moment. All right, sorry. Keep going.
All
Sweet.
right, all
They
right.
can see it. They can see it.
All
Thanks
good,
for
all good.
Mhm.
No worries.
crack on.
So let's get it. So basically, yeah, looking at the support here at 55,299, if we do break this area of support here on a 4 hour closure, then I do think we'll probably will sell off probably to these wicks down here to 52. But I'm not looking at that just based on posturing. Momentum is still up there. 1 hour momentum, is still holding some sort of, probably, is that even a, oh wow, look at this trend line, guys.
Mm.
Very, 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 very
Ooh,
evident,
Is
ooh.
that is
you
that
know.
bullish? Would you call that
Yeah, that's
bullish?
very, very
Okay, I'm
bullish.
just checking. I'm just checking.
So yeah, I wouldn't mind if it came back down here. And what do you think that if it was to come back down there, it would just take one more swipe probably down here, uh, which, to be honest, would be an opportunity, not financial advice as well. Don't be high leveraging if you are thinking of possibly doing something at that area. But because it's just a good area to manage risk, right? Because look where your stop loss could be, right? If it, not financial advice, of course, right?
Um, no, this is all really good stuff, Harry. I mean, this may sound like a joke, but can you're saying not to use 10x leverage. Can you talk me out of using 100x leverage?
Yeah, of
Why should I
course.
not do that? Why should I not do that? Because I really want to do that.
Well, a 1% move in Bitcoin will make you lose 100%.
I mean, yeah, no, I totally get the math, but it still seems
It's like,
enticing. It still
so.
seems enticing to me.
Also, there's a liquidation price. I mean, if Bitcoin was to go down 1%, you do get liquidated automatically, which means that
Right.
they 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 take all the money in your account, no
Yeah, no,
questions
I
asked.
totally get that. I
Do
totally
you
get
So,
though?
that.
I mean,
Do you though? It doesn't sound like you're getting it.
So.
just next time you see a big candle like this, if you want to take a gamble, flip a coin. And if it lands on your gambling, if you said, all right, heads or tails, if it flips, let's say I said heads. So you flip it, it lands on heads, and then you're like, fine, I have to FOMO in. You go under X leverage, you FOMO in, and then maybe if you're lucky, you catch something like this, which is a 2%, and you make like 280% of your account.
Right.
That's
You
what I
know?
wanted to hear. Okay.
No,
Yeah.
that's what's up. I'm hearing X's in minutes, which is what the degens
Mm.
like to hear. Yeah, no, but
Losses.
definitely people be very careful with this
You'll
leverage
blow your
thing,
account.
guys. You will just
Just
get wrecked instantly.
Guys, please don't do that. You're actually gonna
Yeah.
easily blow your account. Like leverage trading, no joke, hey guys. I mean, you
Or
can
you
do it.
could retire the next day.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
it's just funny to me because I have been looking into this leverage stuff a little bit more recently, and it's like, yeah, what do you say? It's like
You've got
they
to be
they
doing this for years
yeah, I mean they
to
talk
figure
about how
this.
it's such like a fancy it's such a fancy thing to do, right? I'm trading options. I'm a very fancy person. But how is trading on 100x leverage different than what we're doing in the Uniswamp? Like it's an honest question.
I mean, I would say this, like, don't compare trading to Uniswap, because I think trading shouldn't be basically something that you just go ahead and gamble in, because A, it's not you should be making like proper predictions, and it's all a game of probability at the end of the day, right? But the word gambling is used by a lot of people, but to be honest, isn't life a gamble, right? So every time you open a business, you take a gamble. So it's more about probability, and you're probably going to have higher probability of managing risk if you know more about Uniswap than you are about trading. So, trading, it's good if you know what you're doing. And, if you're using 2x leverage, you're pretty much safe in a bull market, right? Because your liquidation price will be very, very low. But yeah, it's just something to keep in mind. There's other factors, but, leverage trading, we'll talk about that another day, but just don't be abusing it, use it carefully and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm looking
Let's.
next week all-time highs for Bitcoin. Not financial advice,
Yes.
just based, sum it up. And then for Ethereum, let me just quickly look at Ethereum. Ethereum looks good, very, very good. Had the same wick here. Probably will be my target very, very close to being hit here. I was off by about $10. So if you guys can give me a discount on $10, I'll be very grateful.
Nice.
So yeah, I think we will reach 2,100, 2,200. It will follow Bitcoin. So let's get into these altcoins because I think that's what people are more interested in.
Start shilling your altcoins to
I think we
receive
had
If you guys
TA,
don't mind,
guys.
can
Yep.
can I go ahead and start you guys off before we start taking in requests from the chat? Because I may or may not have taken a huge loan to buy some Chainlink.
Also,
Would you like me to go over Chainlink?
questionable behavior.
Just
Yeah.
just hearing a lot of red flags in that sentence.
To be totally clear, guys, that was a joke. I have not taken a huge loan to buy Chainlink, but I do have a vested interest in Chainlink going up only. I don't care if it goes down. Up only, please.
That is why this is not
Healthy
financial
chart.
advice, because we do not I mean, yeah, we do not financially advise
No,
taking out
Chainlink's
loans
looking
for
healthy.
Chainlink.
Don't worry about Chainlink. All right, let's see what we got. What do we got? Shill
BNB,
me,
yeah,
shill
no,
me.
I would like to
BNB.
hear
Yeah.
So,
your BNB analysis.
well, but let's put it to the people first.
No,
D was first.
that's from the people. That's from the people. BNB.
No, isn't D SXP and Alpha? Isn't that the first one?
Oh, you want to go in order? Like,
Well, I think so. I feel like D and Gekas, they said both at SXP and MFT and OMG as well.
I mean, I'm
I
curious
just
about
feel
it.
like they've been waiting. You know what I mean? Like you gotta give the. Yeah, these guys are in first.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I appreciate it. It's like they're already their
See, this
transaction is
flash
already.
dump happened across the whole market, right? And
Yeah, no, it really
I
doesn't matter what.
had a position in Cardano and this stupid flash, Anyways, but it didn't make me lose money. I was up like a decent amount, but it just stopped me out my position. I set it over because I need to sleep at night, right, guys? You can't leave anything just running. Very healthy chart, flash crash, sell off, a bit of accumulation over the weekend. Probably wants to see what Bitcoin is going to do. And if Bitcoin is going to continue up and onwards, then probably this is going to continue up and onwards because we can see that when we had the Bitcoin rally, this started having a rally here. I'm not really bearish on the chart until we break. Yeah, to be honest. And if we put in a lower high, then I could look for a move back down to 2. But otherwise, no, I'm looking for this to maybe go a bit of sideways and then pick itself up. What else we got?
SXP was one of those coins that D was talked about in one of her videos about just about some of the fundamental news that was coming, and yeah, she did really well with it. And even despite the advice I gave her, because SXP has been absolute poo show. I won't use the other word. Absolute poo show for its customer service. And I just knew it just had a very a stigma about it. So I was surprised. I was very surprised. She went against my advice, and thankfully so.
So yeah, this is alpha. This is actually TA from last week, and we still have it up, so we can back test it and see if I was right. I said its last chance to bounce was here, and it didn't bounce. And now this box that I said, if it breaks below, it would I would look for maybe basing around here or even lower if it did break this level here. And you can see what ended up happening is we came down, we broke this box. Now we're just retesting it as resistance 3 times, which is telling me that if we do break this resistance, we can look for some upside. The support is holding beautifully. Look at this, 1 wick, 2 wick, 3 wick. So if the support is broken, then it's trouble, right? So very simple, this chart to analyze. We break above this level on a 4-hour closure, upside. We break below this support on a 4-hour closure, downside. Very simple. What else we got?
Nice.
So I think Gekas, yeah, OMG, and MFT.
OMG.
Oh my God.
OMG was.
I think they were meant to
Ooh.
have some news coming up. Like this is one of the ones that you sort of want to watch during the ETH gas issues. I'm not up to date with their news, but it has the potential to we have seen it potentially rocket a few times now. But if it were to deliver on its layer 2 solution and be cost effective with gas and you know, a few other things that it's sort of promising, it could potentially do really well whilst ETH sorts its poo out.
Yeah, for sure. And the thing with OMG is it actually does have a currently in place protocol for like a scaling solution. So you can send Ethereum, Ether on the network a little bit cheaper than you normally would. But unfortunately, it does not currently interact with any of the protocols that are built on Ethereum. So sending ETH, definitely a lot cheaper, but doing your swaps, doing everything else on the network, not going to happen with that.
Yeah, I'm still
That's my
bullish.
analysis for it.
All
I
right.
mean, this, I bet if you brought out the RSI here, this would be bullish divergence for sure. This is why I don't need an RSI. It should be bullish divergence, these 2 points here. And on top of that, if you look at this, if you're a pattern trader, this would be what? An ascending triangle. And if you take a measured move from the ascending triangle, it's probably going to take you a little bit past your all-time high or to all-time high. And you can see it's just below it. So obviously that's going to be an algo target for pattern traders. And that's why you can expect price to break. You know, you're supposed to take like this area of the triangle. It should, you know, based on, yeah, there you go. You see, tapping all-time high. And so what you can expect is you can expect price to break out of here. And if it does break out of here, you can expect it to have a pullback at all-time high, accumulate probably, and if it wants to break, it will break, and if it breaks, it looks good. But I'm not bearish on this chart. It looks pretty healthy. You know, obviously, if we do break this support down here, where I've drawn my line, then I would look for some downside. Probably what happened to what was the first one? SXP, yeah, you know how it broke below that and then started going up and down. So yeah, what else we got?
It's strange. I was so bullish on OMG when Tether moved over to them, and I thought they were just going to fix all of our Ethereum problems right then and there. But it didn't seem that trend didn't seem to continue on with them, and I still don't quite understand why, since the OMG tech is so good that they haven't already received more adoption. But looks bullish for the chart at least.
Yeah, yeah.
We got a GRT, a 1-inch, and a BNB.
All right, let's go GRT.
The Google of the blockchain.
So we did break below the box that I drew from last week. And you could see that sell-off did happen as soon as the breaker came, retested it as resistance, and then boom, we had a sell-off. Now, yeah, you know, it's hard to say with these coins how far the sell-off would go, but probably taking it off the 1 hour, it should have based off somewhere, and yes, it did. I was probably saying, to be honest, last week, you can go watch. I was probably saying for it to base between here and here. I would normally think it would base around the more significant area, but it did catch the wicks here and started basing off this area. But yeah, we did get that sell-off, as someone on YouTube would say, exactly as predicted.
Exactly.
So, yeah, as predicted.
Exactly.
So yeah, now looking at it, we're holding a nice trend line, make it nice and simple for you. If we do keep holding this trend line, I look for it to keep going up. If not, it's just going to be in this unfortunate accumulation zone until it news or it decides to do something, which I can't predict, to be honest. Normally, when you see like that, I wouldn't be worried if it's not breaking below
Hmm.
Now we can move this box down to probably a 4 hour would be more decent. And yeah, you can see that base there is pretty good. Probably something like this. And yeah, next is 1 inch. And then we'll go to your BNBs, guys. We'll go to your BNB. You know, apparently the YouTube algorithm, if you shout Bitcoin, Ethereum, and high numbers, we should get more viewers. So let me test this. Bitcoin to 220, Ethereum to 2,500, guys. Easy,
Hmm.
easy. Bitcoin exploding today. Now let's see if this will, our
And,
views will
and then we
increase.
all act really shocked, right?
Yeah,
Oh,
No way, dude. You
I'm not
have the
seeing,
analysis to back that up. I don't doubt you for a second, but
I'm
Bitcoin
not
to
seeing any more
1
views.
million euros?
you heard
I'm
it here,
pretty sure
guys.
that
Tradesharpe.
I'm pretty sure that the algorithm actually picks up the width of your mouth. So the wider your mouth, the more people start joining the
I think
TO.
the best O face is from Gooding. So if you guys all want an O face, then you can ask him.
And a screen cap it. Oh man. Yeah, if you guys don't know, if you're not in the Telegram, that's super weird that you're watching the YouTube live show and you're not in the Telegram. I'm just honestly, I think that's bizarre. But there is this awesome GIF that floats around the Telegram of Gooding that it really does sort of crack me up every time I see it. But I'm not going to describe it or even tell you about it here on the YouTube channel because it's a Telegram thing, guys. So
So yeah, one
Excellent.
inch,
get the
It
Telegram.
was
one
your
inch, one
incentive.
inch, 1 inch. 1 inch is crawling 1 inch a day, you know.
Is this the one
Uh,
inch chart or the GRT chart? Because it looks really similar.
it does, right? And you'll see alts follow each other quite a lot. But it's very simple, guys. Look, we're in accumulation. Look at how much support there is down here. Guess what happens if we break that support? Probably come down
Mm.
and base at the next resistance. Simple price action. Look left, we have clean candles, nothing to support it here. High chance if we do break that support, price will continue down to fill this range and probably find some support here. Will it bounce it? That's up to the fundamentals and stuff, but at least we can start hedging our bets as soon as we see
Mm.
the support break. And that's how it works, right? Pattern traders, you see the markets can be looked at a lot of different ways. Pattern traders will probably be seeing this some sort of descending triangle. And what's the descending triangle? If it breaks to the downside, you take the measured move. And I would probably say that the measured move, roughly, if we were to take it like this uh, and get the 3 touches, which would be something like that.
Now, just to clarify, are these good touches or bad touches?
Descending triangles are bearish, but
Oh, so
you
they're bad touches.
you could
Mm.
look at this as also a bull pennant. I don't use
Oh,
patterns. I don't use patterns, but obviously making a high-low structure and breaking structure will imply all-time highs. But looking, at the downside breakage of this, it will probably bring around where I was saying it would correct. And you can see if we break to the bottom here, it's bringing it where to that support. So it all lines up. Breaking to the upside would imply, something like this, which is just a little bit above all-time high. So yeah, let's look at BNB. I think everyone's interested in
Mm.
BNB.
That's a good point, though, Harry. I think a lot of people, even traders, are not even actually looking at the chart. They're just looking at the price on their phone, and when it goes below a certain price, they're going to sell.
Yeah,
They're
indeed.
not going to look for triangles and diamonds and pennants. They'll just be looking at their phone price. That's
Healthy.
my theory, at least.
This is not healthy, guys.
What is that? Is that the 4 hourly?
This is a
It's a
weekly.
weekly.
That's the weekly.
that
This
that
Yeah.
this
looks
is
that looks as healthy as possible, as healthy as can be.
normal price action.
Organic growth.
Hype. Yeah, yeah. What type of trading do you do? Yeah, I do 90% trading. I
Th- th-
only invest in things that go 90% up. Not as a
I want to
percentile, but as an angle. Ah, I see.
ah, I want to call that a fundamental push. Excuse
Yeah. But
Yeah, it's not
yeah,
every day that Ethereum collapses and you get to like steal its whole lunch party from it. Yeah, what is going to happen though? I'm super curious. Seems like people are already spreading FUD and worried about the entire BNB market collapsing a week after it started. Is that going to happen, Harry?
well, you could have this scenario. That's scenario number one. where you accumulate down here. Uh, you basically the asset, guys. I'm not being a hater or anything. It's overvalued. It really is overvalued. How a thing becomes overvalued is not because of the use case. Like this BHC Binance Smart Chain has been going crazy, right? And it's a solution to gas fees, but you can't have growth this fast, and it's not organic enough. And at some point, people will start selling. I'm not an expert in this, but maybe Binance itself, Mr. CZ holds some of BNB, which I'm pretty sure they do. So he's probably gonna start scaling out, because at the end of the day, he's a normal person. Just because he owns Binance doesn't mean he's not in crypto, so he probably will be taking some profits here. But what am I looking for? Well, obviously a massive, massive, massive base is here at 120. And to be honest with you guys, just based on hype and stuff like this, I don't really want to say it because I could be extremely wrong, but it will be a bit worrying on the whole ecosystem if we do see price go below 120, because this should be a really, really good base. Obviously we could have the if there's a huge FUD and all of this, yeah, it could come back down and base at 44, but I do see that 120 as a good base. Now, what happens now if the hype still, continues? This might be a lower high here. We break this, we retest, and now we might start going up again. But it's very, very hard to say just based on the ecosystem, right? Because this is not any type of price action, right? This is just a pure hype. I mean, if you look at the weekly, it's pretty evident to see that this is, not natural, right? It's just a straight up chart.
Really
So
funny chart.
yeah, it's a little bit hard to say, but just using basic technicals, we can see that basing, it will probably base around 120. Sharp downtrend here, you can see it did have a bounce somewhere down here. Got bought back up. If this wants to put in a lower high, then maybe we could look for some sort of short term, or maybe what happens, we can accumulate up here, right? Like we've been seeing in these alts, how they've just
Mhm.
been like this.
Mm.
And then we
Harry,
have it.
can you do me a favor and go ahead and pull back up that weekly chart real quick? Because
Yeah,
I
yeah, of
actually noticed
course.
something on that chart.
What did
So
you
when you
notice?
go back there, scroll in on just a teensy bit. Yeah, there we go. You can actually pinpoint on the chart exactly where CZ came in, punched Vitalik in the face, and stole all his lunch money.
Yeah, right here.
I can see
That
it. I can see it. It's
What else have we got?
it's a chart for the ages. Um, yeah, no, we'll probably talk about it maybe on Monday or something. But yeah, this Ethereum hard fork Berlin is coming. Maybe they're gonna get some money back. It was interesting to see. Maybe you could look at Uniswap if nobody else has
oh,
a
I posted one in the chat.
thing.
Can I pretty please?
Yeah,
Pretty
What
please.
is
Let
it?
me get
What is it? What
a
is it?
an RGT.
Hopefully this is on Binance.
what's that?
No, it's not
Ah,
on
you
Binance.
have to be complicated, don't you?
Of
What's
course.
Just joking.
Gotta make it
Is this
difficult
it,
for you.
Rari?
Rari governance token.
Oh yeah.
All right, we got that. We got that. Probably gonna take last two alts, so it's your last chance. Last two alts, calling last two alts. Where's
Last
my
two
big
odds.
screen?
Oh, I don't
Rari.
know.
Everything NFT is gonna happen this year. That's the sentiment, right, guys?
Yeah, and
Healthy
just to be clear,
chart.
guys, Rari is not Rarible. This is Rari governance token. It's an asset management platform, kind of like YFI.
That's what I was trying to point out there.
I mean, it's in accumulation. It's healthy. I'm not looking for it to correct. Uh,
Yay.
it just needs some fundamental push, right?
So
Fundamental push
Uh,
will get it going.
I missed this one, Bender. Is this a, sorry, did you say it was a Wi-Fi competitor?
Yes, they actually have a lot going for it right now. They are interconnecting with a lot of other protocols in the space, starting with a personal favorite that's not been doing too well recently, Alpha.
hmm.
But if you've heard of SFI, Saffron Finance, that's another one
Yep.
that has had a recent partnership with. And this thing has got some crazy APYs for just putting your money in and letting it sit. I think it's going to do well in the long term, but we'll see how it goes.
I'm reading here on Twitter.
Nice.
RGT $20 tomorrow. I can feel it.
Twitter is a reliable source for
Yeah.
financial advice.
No,
So
I
that's
mean,
why.
that's where I get all my financial advice from. I'm not sure about you guys.
No, that's we're trying to push back against the. I mean, I'm definitely would consider myself a moon boy, but a realistic, a logical moon boy. I feel like there's a middle ground here that we're trying to achieve where you can make sustainable 10x gains, right?
Ooh, look at this thing. That is way too beautiful.
Yeah.
It
What
is
what
Mr.
Massive.
Uni,
happened
Mr.
there?
Uni, or
What
Mrs.
what
Uni.
happened yesterday? I mean, was that seriously everybody piling out of BNB and be like, "Oh, okay, I guess party's over. Guess I'll get my
Back to
uni tokens
Uniswap.
again."
Yeah, yeah.
Even though you don't really need the, because you don't need the uni tokens to trade yet, unless there are wild rumors spreading about the V3 already. If you guys have heard any, let us know.
Uni is making price action simple, eh? I mean, check this out. Resistance, support. I mean, how much more simple can that get, right? I mean, check that out. If that does break, then I think it'll probably come down here to not. I don't. Uni is a bit strange. This asset. It has good. The way it moves. I've been watching it. It likes to hold its prices, right? And if I have to say anything, uh, it will probably start accumulating here, take some swipes lower, accumulate, and then do one of these pumps again.
Mm.
How long will that accumulation be? Well, it can be like the last one here, and then the one before was an upward style accumulation. But yeah, whoa, what happened to that?
That's
Yeah, it's
that's
chart's
that's
gonna go backwards, guys. Chart's
that's
gonna go
that's uni
backwards.
blasting off. It's literally going backwards in time. It's
Yeah, yeah.
All right. So Squeaky's asked for Polkadot.
yeah.
What?
You read my mind. You read my mind, Squeaky. Polkadot's popping off a little bit on that parachain auction news is the word, but I'm wondering if there's more technical reasons for why it was popping off.
Technical reasons to why it popped off. Uh, Not really, to be honest. Uptrend. Nothing was back tested. It was just holding an uptrend. Probably news came in around here, started popping off. Now it's cooled off and is holding a nice support. If you guys are noticing this pattern, alts are very, very similar, right? They hold a certain support. If they break below, they break below. If they don't, then it will just start accumulating at this area until anything happens again and then pop off again.
Yeah.
And yeah, this is what I'm looking at. I'm not worried basically till below 36 bucks. Then maybe we can see a short-term sell-off. Probably, Polkadot's a pretty strong project. Uh, and I think people will probably look at that as they'll have, and also it can be traded, right? So any asset that can be traded with leverage, you can look for some longs, limit orders sitting at here, so
Mm.
that basically when price was to take a flash, it'll probably get picked up. Now if they decide they want to take profits, or if they think it's still undervalued, they'll probably let it keep going up, or they'll maybe start it on a small downtrend and then it gets reaccumulated before exploding. And yeah,
Mm.
that's how I'm looking at
Nice.
it. Not worried at it. Nothing is scary. Uh,
Nice.
yeah.
No, I'd argue that Polkadot holders are some of the most diamondy hands in the crypto world. Just I think 60 to 70% of the holders are staking almost all of their assets, which I don't know. Yeah, I'm bullish on Polkadot, but I feel like people should know that if they've been watching the stream already.
I think it's easy to be bullish in Polkadot with the rumors of Grayscale accumulating some, or at least they've got their order in at the SEC to allow them to create a trust for it. So, yeah, I think it's FA for a dot is very bullish, not just for the technical aspect, but because of the investors who are picking it up.
Guys, remember what I said about Polkadot? If it was to break below here, I could look for it to reaccumulate here at this area. And if you're a pattern trader and you take it this as a head and shoulders, which it's not, but guess where it's gonna line up with? Ta-da! So
Ta-da!
So yeah, guys, obviously break the support looking for this area to be bought. And as I said, there should be, since this is traded, there should be some longs up here. Should be a wick, and if it wants to get sold into, that's fine. Then we'll look at it then.
Nice.
But yeah, I think that'll do it for me. And looks like no one's shilling any more alt, so at least we don't have hardcore shillers today. Pretty
Mm.
decent projects. I think I've had some nice projects that have had actually some price history. So I haven't had to invert my chart as well, so that's always good. And
Well,
I
that's
think I'm
funny.
gonna hand you
Normally,
over to the kings, the kings
Is
of
that is
speaking.
inverting my chart? Is that a strategy I should adopt, Harry?
This is what I call the psychological strategy.
yeah.
And if you see your money going down, don't worry, just invert the chart
Yeah.
and things go up, right?
Ah, yeah, okay.
But
Well,
don't
that's
All
what.
invert
right,
the chart in
Yeah.
never mind.
Bitcoin. It won't work. You'll make yourself sad.
I do find myself making the wrong decision sometimes. I'm like, something's pumping really hard, and I'm like, oh, this is where I want to put my money, and I put my money in it, and then it dumps out from there. And I'm wondering if I inverted my chart, I could trick myself into
Yeah,
like,
until
buying
you check
the
your account.
dips. Yeah, no, wouldn't recommend. I mean, this isn't financial advice, but I wouldn't recommend doing anything like that. Um,
Indeed. But
yeah, I
yeah,
mean,
No worries.
I'll leave you guys to be
Yeah,
sure to
thank you.
stick around, guys, because that's my TA part done, but now we have some of the amazing speakers to
No
we're
go
worries. Thank you
just
probably
very much for
update
that.
us
we're just
Thank you very
hanging
much for
out.
that, Harry. Appreciate
anytime.
your TA. And for those who are new to the channel, Harry actually does daily TA on both Bitcoin and Ethereum. So he provides this to you guys, so you can do your own analysis as to if you are a Bitcoin and ETH, obviously it would be obvious to you. But for those who have altcoins, you can also sort of plan your trades a little bit better for your swing bags, not your hodls, of course. But there's golden knowledge here that you guys can use for your own bags, and always appreciate the time you put in, Harry. It can feel like you don't receive a bit of love now and then, but I love you, and
Yeah, no,
Thanks. I always knew it. I always knew it. No,
we really
I don't.
appreciate it, Harry.
Anytime, anytime. So with that being said, you guys have one task, and it's a very simple task. If you're new to this channel, you press the subscribe, and if you're not new, then you press like. Simple. Anyways, I'll let you look at the heat map of the market, and I'll catch you soon, guys. Anything you want to know about TA, please feel free to DM me in our Telegram. I will be active there. So take care, guys.
see you later, mate. And for those
Thanks,
who
man.
are new to trading, Harry has created his channel on Tradesharpe, and he has instructional videos from where to go.
Really
And
good
I
stuff.
highly recommend that you get into him, because he's developing the series. There's going to be a lot more content as he goes. And he does have a really good track record as well. So I'd be paying close attention. If TA is something you want to learn, he's the man. Let's get into the heat map here. A bit of a sad day. There were some tears in some of the telegrams that I've saw, but I dare say the projects with, particularly the large caps with good fundamentals, have done well today. You have Dot and Cardano, recently sort of blasting up and holding a very strong price there. Bitcoin hasn't really moved much. It did shoot up to, I think it was just under 58,000. Is that right, guys? And it's it's still holding pretty well there. Ethereum, it's looking a bit sad. I dare say gas fees, it's not sort of holding it back just that little bit. It will continue to moon, but just a bit slowly. Uni just killing it.
Ripping.
What about you guys? Are any of your bags pumped today, or any tokens sort of
Yeah,
stand
I
out
mean,
to
I
you
am
guys?
mildly diversified. It is interesting to be in this new era. I think that is the hard part about just crypto in general, is that as soon as you sort of get your sea legs, the entire ecosystem shifts and you have to trade wallets and move to someplace else. But I actually am sort of happy to see a heat map like this, because it means that each of the coins are sort of embarking on their own journey. Definitely, like when we see flash crashes like we saw yesterday, things will sort of line up again, and we'll see the same sort of crashing happening to various degrees on all of these coins. But Right? Uni can go off and have its own day and go up 50%. It like not every coin has to have the exact mirror image of Bitcoin, and I see that as actually also extremely bullish, even if we are seeing some red on the day. But BNB deserves it. I'm sorry, I said it. It
I dare
it
say it's a bit of a retracement day today for
yeah.
a lot of the coins. XRP, I think that's been it's been retracing for a while now. I dare say there's some fundamental issues there. But let's have a look at the Bitcoin dominance real quick. There's nothing really to value add here other than we're sitting under that 200-day moving average. For those who are following the galactic exploration here, I do know Harry did provide some very strong technical analysis here, but we're just looks like we're about to just pass Mars and continue our way to Saturn here, but
I
we've
mean,
decided to go around the other way. So just for
no, obviously
visual
Harry's
effects.
obviously Harry's TA is on point, top notch. But it is important to look at different sources, and I do appreciate your TA Gooding.
Thank you, mate. It has been quite accurate thus far, though. I
Yeah,
did say we were going to go to the moon, and yeah, we did. We even stopped, had a little bit of a landing here, and then
yeah,
I said we're going to need that gravitational pull to sort of slingshot us
yeah. No, we definitely
to Mars, and
slingshotted.
that's exactly what's happened. So, I might write a bit of a guide on this sort of technical analysis. I haven't seen it anywhere else, but yeah,
I
it's
mean,
been quite accurate thus far.
it's just a matter of time, honestly. Honestly,
I do want to talk about NFTs. This is something it's really is starting to peak and do well within the space. And we talk about utility. You want it to have excellent utility. There is an art and collector perspective here, and this one, he sold. I haven't got it up in front of me, but it was about 3.5 million dollars worth of NFTs in one release, and it was this one here, and very interesting designs from on Beeple here, and it was just killer. I found the imagery very fascinating. Some odd shapes, but
yeah, it's beautiful.
Bitcoin Bull there. It included an NFT sort of like a physical card as well with your scan code and a
Mm.
certificate of buying. And I think this is what's going to be this. This is actually probably the standard for collectibles. There's nothing better than having it on a digital sense, but also having that physical. I think that looks awesome. I'd definitely put that on a bookcase, maybe just behind me there, and because some of this artwork
Yeah.
is just
No,
incredible.
it's a great idea to combine the blockchain NFT with a physical asset because I think that will hit it home for people. And I don't know, this reminds me of like late night cable ads for like collectibles and stuff. This is something you could sell to people actually. And then
Mm.
the NFT, right? Because I guess then you're getting both markets. Like the NFT people are going to buy it, but then also people that
Mm.
don't care about NFTs will buy it because it's cool. Because these are
Yeah,
pretty
exactly.
cool.
Let me down a little bit here, but yeah, there's some really detailed artwork here.
Yeah.
I think it's good. I only just discovered this, and I'm gonna keep my eye on it because I think
What are these
there you go.
bids coming in?
Wow, there you go. So
75K? Are you
wow.
serious?
So there you go. There is value in NFTs for the naysayers, and you just saw it there. Bids. There's a people offering. So incredible. That's all from me, guys. I'm sure you guys have some better news than I do.
Um, I mean, seems like we lost Mr. Bender. I don't know.
Ah,
I don't know what happened to him. He might have got sucked into the ether. Uh, do you guys know that? I always think about that. That ether used to mean space back in the day. It's part of the probably why it's named that, but I think it all ties in together with our vibe here. Yeah, I mean, it's the weekend, Gooding, and I'm just always a little like skeptical, hesitant to get too heavy into anything crypto because of the quote unquote shenanigans going on over the weekend. I think it's a good time to like go inside yourself and reflect. we can just sort of think about what happened with BNB this week. It really was like a revolution, a big major sea change. And I've just been sitting this weekend thinking like, what's going to happen? Because we saw this explosive growth and now we're seeing the pullback. Just like Harry was saying, like these are really standard patterns. That this is how all of the world works. It's very symbolic. You have expansive growth, and then you have to talk about it for a while, and then you either go up or you go down from that point. But there is always sort of an inflection point, and since everything is moving in absolute hyperspeed, when I thought we couldn't even get any faster on these timescales. Could this entire new concept and market be just an instantaneous pump and dump, or are we going to see more exciting growth? Because I have seen a lot of projects talking about porting over to Binance Smart Chain, because right now it is just some sort of multi thousand APY farming protocols. We're not really seeing a lot of utility going on, but I think that's the question in a lot of people's minds. Are we going to see Binance become an actual useful thing, or is it going to just remain some gambling DGen spot?
Yeah, it's interesting, mate. As though I wish I could predict the future, but what I can predict right now, whilst the ETH network gas fees are ludicrous, the Binance Smart Chain will continue to have that use case, and I've said it here many times. What some indicators to follow is the total value locked on PancakeSwap is now just under 3.5 billion. I dare say that is, I won't say it, but I'll have to double check how that sort of compares with some of the other, swaps here. Let me just see if I can bring it up. DeFi, we got Chainlink here. I see if they do have total value locked up. There is a way to do this. I'm just trying to change.
Yeah, no, I'm
here
just
we go.
looking. Yeah.
So we have, wrapped.
Nice.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's fine. That's fine. We're having some technical issues, guys. But if you have a look at CoinGecko, you can click on DeFi and you click on top decentralized exchange tab, and you sort of scroll down and you can sort of see where the money is being placed. And people will put their money where it is best treated. And PancakeSwap straight up the top there, with 1.5 billion in volume. So these are the indicators. That's more than Uniswap. It's more than SushiSwap. It's the top dog. So just bear this in mind. If you're looking for potentially looking for those quick flips, those 8 casino moments, it's going to be on PancakeSwap. Now to go back to your question, Marsh, are we going to see some projects with some actual use cases? I dare say we're going to see a lot of copy and paste from the ETH network, because on the Binance Smart Chain, we don't have a poker starter, do we? And we're starting to see a few little, sort of shady projects that show up, sort of promising the same thing. So just keep your wits about you guys. But I think we're going to see a huge explosion on Binance Smart Chain. We're going to see everything sort of, from the ETH network be copied onto the Binance network, and there's nothing to say that they won't do well, because why not? Why not have a few options out there? We're going to see more of these chains compete. Ethereum has held the crown for a very long time, and Polkadot's it's getting close. Cardano's a little bit behind Polkadot from my perspective. I could be wrong. You can shut me down in the comments if you want. But I think we will see Binance Smart Chain do very well, and there'll be a lot of potential to make some quick gains on the Binance Smart Chain. I don't know if it'll be the outstanding chain in the future, though.
Yeah. Okay. No, you really have to be able to turn on a dime in this market if you want to be the smart money and follow the gains. But I am just personally, I don't know. I'm trying to be a little more agile actually. But if you're the type that isn't just glued to the screen 24/7. You may start hearing about this Binance Smart Chain thing happening, and I would just personally advise against selling off your entire MetaMask moonbags. If there's projects that you believe in, even if they're on Ethereum, I wouldn't give up on them quite yet. And that's just sort of what we've been seeing in the last couple of days with the Uni token going up 50%, and many of these other projects that were bleeding for a second there while the BSC hype was going into hyperdrive. A lot of these projects are coming back to life again. So I think that's what's so difficult, at least for me, about crypto, is that your mind has to work on like multiple time scales. You know what I mean? Like you have to know that Bitcoin is going up and that all of this little fiddling that it's doing is sort of just for fun, and you could get a little bit too lost in that micro analysis and end up just missing a bunch of gains that you could have had you just not fiddled with your assets. And especially since gas is so insane still, I would I don't know, I'm personally just leaving some of my Uniswap tokens in place, just because I don't know, you got to keep the long game. And I did want to just, there's not really much to talk about, but it is important to note that this Ethereum hard fork is coming. It's coming in April. It's called Berlin, and they are going to include some gas efficiency.
Yeah, it was, but it's not. It's
stuff.
Yeah, it's efficiency, but it's not quite the reduction that's going to solve the gas price issue. So it will have some effect, a positive effect. I don't think it's going to solve the issue though. And if ETH continues to moon,
it's not that
gas
EIP 1500 or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Alrighty. Is there anything else, mate? Physical for me, NFT.
You froze out
David, mate, yeah, like some people need to touch stuff, and maybe you're one of them, mate. But yeah, like as I was saying before on Beeple, you know, you can touch your NFTs if you want, mate. But
it seems like Daniel got rugged. Sorry, Daniel. Sorry.
Yeah, internet will do that, mate. All right, we might end it there. Thank you very much for joining us. Before we head off, please just click on that like button. Show us a bit of love. That's the only payment we want. So anyway, we'll see you in the Telegram. See you in the Discord. Until next time, guys.
Much love, everybody. Stay safe out there, friends. Don't get rubbed.